Wilson Morales from Black Women TV talking to Dominique Thorne, who is doing something special. Can you talk about what you're promoting?
Today, I am fortunate enough to have collaborated with Puffs via their Power Pals program to spread some joy to some kids at the Children's Healthcare Center of Atlanta. We took a trip down there earlier today and spent some time with kids ranging from 5 to 13, all of whom were selected to be Power Pals themselves. They all had these beautiful comic book style superhero versions of themselves with the masks and the superhero costume on, and really just take some time to reflect their own strength as a hero back to them. Obviously through me playing and representing Riri Williams or Ironheart, a lot of them were excited to meet a hero. To meet a hero in the flesh, but really it was a chance to give them some joy and a time to think about anything else other than the treatment that they may have to focus on that day. So it was a good time. It was a good time.
What led you to say yes to to coming down and supporting them?
To give some love to the kids, honestly, truly. I don't know if we've spoken about this, but my mother was a babysitter for 15 years of my life, the first 15. And during that time, I spent a lot of time in the homes of other children, of babies, toddlers, primarily. Many of whom were fortunate to be strong and healthy, and others who were not, who had illnesses from time to time or disabilities that were visible and not. So to me, thinking about Puffs, who has been like a staple in my own childhood, cold and flu season, as a youth, being able to identify, I want those, not those, because you know, and you can rely on like the comfort and the softness that you're going to get from Puffs in this moment of stress. To think about or to hear, to have them contact me now at this point in my journey, and to hear that they're still focused on, that they're still committed to this comfort that they provide, and primarily providing it to children, and in this case children who truly would benefit from it, who have it, whose treating of a sore nose or a sensitive nose may be the least of their worries, but probably at the same time like the most significant relief to them. So it felt like alignment in many ways, especially considering that the strength of a hero is what the vehicle for that is, and I of course am fortunate enough to represent a hero on screen. So it felt like the right choice.
So, being that you went down there with goodies, did you show them the first episode of Ironheart?
No, I did not. I think Kevin might have my head if I did.
Obviously, just recently, Black Panther got nominated for a number of awards for the Oscars, including Angela, who you happen to have shared screens in Wakanda Forever. How happy are you that, she's gotten the nomination for the second time in her illustrious career?
It's so well deserved. It's shocking that it's only the second time, in my opinion.
In 30 years.
I mean, man, it feels like it's such a beautiful thing because it's a reminder of like, yes, this is the queen. And at the same time, it's like, whoa, you sure? Are we sure this is only number 2, So ultimately, I think there's a lot of joy and just a lot of pride and a lot of I don't know, I think just awe to continue to be able to continue to support and to watch this magnificent journey of a woman that is so truly incredible. And to know that there is any sort of support of that or connection to that, or to have been inspired and affected by that in the midst of her getting to that point is mind-blowing and very humbling.
You've got Ironheart coming out. We don't know the date yet, you know, but obviously throughout, it feels like forever when you first got announced that you would be playing this role.
Yes.
Sight unseen so far, you know, obviously from Jesus and the Black Messiah to Wakanda Forever, and now, you know, we'll see you in these. How would you say you've grown, you know, leading up to when we're going to see it? And obviously, going to be talking about it. You obviously, these kids are excited to see you, you know, once they find out and they know that you're playing this role.
Man, what a question. How would I say I have grown? I think, honestly, the first few steps that I was fortunate enough to take in the film industry were very rooted and grounded and connected to a clear truth. They're about real people and real events, inspired by real places and very real circumstances that took place in our world. With Ironheart, this is my first step out of the real world, out of that same sense of familiarity or groundedness that we can call on, and into a much larger, more expansive, and clearly fictitious universe that is the MCU. So I think for that to be the first step that I take away from what is real and nonfiction type work is exciting, because I think it sort of represents, like, it opens the door to the idea that the sky is not even the limit, because there are all these other worlds in the MCU, and here I am existing in it. So that's a very encouraging and exciting thing to consider. But at the same time, making a shift like that definitely requires a stretch, not only obviously of the imagination, but I think of my skills as someone who would refer to myself as a theater actor, or at least theatrically trained. That is really that's my true passion. That's people ask, what am I doing here? I'm like, I don't know, because I wanted to do plays. But somehow I ended up in film, and I've been in love and inspired by the potential and the possibility to affect change in this medium. And it's been wonderful to see how that change has been coming about. And I committed to spending some time in film because I did believe that, and I did see that there was room for an opportunity to present change. And so it is a beautiful thing to see that the beginning stages of that happening, or at least some movement toward change, even within the MCU. And what that's taught me, I think, especially considering the fact that I've now gone to leading a show, to be anybody's number one in anything. And it's so funny to tell this story speaking to you, Wilson, because the person who gave me this lesson was Daniel Kaluuya in Judas and the Black Messiah. And he was the first one to say that not everybody will be excited or feel fulfilled by the task of being a number one. Not everybody is aware of the work and the responsibility also tethered to leading anything in this business. And I learned that lesson from him, from hearing it in stories and communication, but also just by watching and witnessing. Of course, Harmon was sort of that was his right hand, that was his shooter. So obviously I spent much time quite literally at his side, just watching him not only take charge of the scenes, but lead the room even when the cameras were off. And to now, like you said, on the other side, to now be leading Ironheart, to be playing the title character and taking on an entire series in the wake of the greatness that is Ryan Coogler's Wakanda Forever and Chadwick Boseman's Wakanda and Letitia Wright's Wakanda Forever. I think it's been such a stilling and a humbling, but really more than that, an empowering and an inspiring road to even stepped foot on. And so all that to say that I've been exposed to what my true potential is in this space. And really, ultimately, what this has taught me is that the door has now been opened and that anything is possible.
You know, obviously, we've got a lot more for us to see when you come out. But right now, we're cherishing for what you've done so far and what you continue to do.
Amen.
Congrats on not just only, coming up in this film and the TV world, but for what you're doing for the kids. We need to hear that because, there's a world outside of movies and, we
Exactly.
also want to know, oh, what do you do, in your humble time? Hey, you're going to visit these kids because they
Yeah.
also could use a smile and a breath of fresh air. And I'm sure we'll talk down the road because we got more to do. And you working gives me work,
Yes.
which is great. So
Let's
go. Wherever you're at, stay safe. Take care, and we'll talk down the road.
Likewise. You take care, Wilson.
Take care.